So I'm going to talk about the Morgan Greer Tarot. This is the reissued 10 edition by US Games, and I think this came out a couple of years ago. Yeah, 2015 was when it was reissued. It originally came out in 1979, and so it does definitely have that sort of 70s vibe to it. Just like the Aquarian Tarot, it's one made around the same time. The colors are very jewel tone, rich, and it's a really nice deck. I believe this one is smaller than the regular issue deck. This one is basically card playing size. You can see how small they are. They fit in one of my hands. So here's the card telling you that it's that. The back kind of is reversible, but it does say US Games on the side, so it's not the best to be reversible. There's the little white book, and the tin is actually, it's a nice tin. It's full color. I've had it on the shelf, and it has the nice designs on it, and the Queen of Swords is on the cover. So let's look at the deck. It slides very easily. They're very compact, this edition is. The edges are very smooth. So we have the Fool, and the people have very pleasing looks on their faces. Here we have the typical, it's sort of a close-up of the Fool with the dog, the white rose, the knapsack, kind of looking off in the distance, but not, there's the precipice right there, kind of there. Magician, you have the 4 symbols down there, the white lilies, the symbol of infinity here repeated on his cloak. It looks like he's in sort of a walled area, a castle. The High Priestess. Here she has the scroll, the moon on her head dress as well. One column beside her. You notice that the names of the cards are just printed in black on them, and there's no border, which is kind of nice. The Empress. Emperor. They are sort of cartoony in the way that they're drawn, but I kind of like that. The Lovers. The Chariot. Typical depiction of the chariot, but horses instead of sphinx. You can see the wheels there, the canopy. Strength. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. Someone's falling. There's a hand of fate cranking the wheel. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Here we have the White Rose, the Desolate City, Skull. Temperance. The Devil. An interesting devil card. Here we have the Fly in the middle of an upside down sort of pentagram that's kind of woven. Horns here, candle. It's just a very different devil card. The Tower. Here's the people falling from the tower, being struck by lightning. And waves coming up. The Star. The Moon. Do you think this is a lobster or a crayfish? I think it's a crayfish, but I don't know. The sun. Two people, two blondes, fiery red sun. Judgment. The world. I like the stars in the background. That's nice. Now we're into rods. And these are so much like Rider-Waite. Almost like it's just a reinterpretation, a redrawing of them, not so much reinterpretation of them. They look almost exactly like that. This is interesting. This one, the ace cards have really been sort of redone. So we have the hand holding the pentacle, but we also have a white flower, supposedly a lily, and then the red rose, and then like a gateway going onward. So this is different. It's a different artwork. We have like sort of an infinity symbol there. Some of these appear to be like close-ups of the Rider-Waite. Strange that it's right in the middle of that. One of the few cards that actually depicts someone other than Caucasian. It's a beautiful card. Very exotic. The page. The knight. The queen. The king. Ace of Cups. Most of the hair is adorned. It's very rarely exposed. There's always something going on in the hair. There's none. Yeah, it looks exactly like a Rider-Waite card, just redrawn. This one's a little different. It's a very usable deck, especially with someone that's familiar with Rider-Waite and you know. Some of the headdresses that these people are wearing are a little fanciful. I've always loved this card. It's a very mysterious card. The moon, the swords, the blindfold. I do like the lack of borders. It kind of puts you right in the card. And there's the one that's on the box. And then there's the King of Swords, which is a really pretty card with the oak and the wheat. So that's the deck. Little tiny compact deck. Not as small as a miniature, but it's still a very small deck. So I'm going to tuck it away in this. And here is a tin. It does dent fairly easily, and like the other tins, that I have, they're done by US Games. So I have the Halloween Tarot, the Zillich Tarot, and Morgan Greer, and they're all the same size. The cards, they're the playing card size. It's nice. I mean, I like the box. The box is completely traditional, but the tin lends itself to almost like a gift setup. So they don't stack very well. They're kind of awkward when you put them on the shelf. I stack mine like that, but it's there. I think it's just another way to package it. There are some other tins out there, but I really am not partial to the whole smaller, easily to handle. I mean, you know, one of my favorite decks, it's larger, it fits in your hand, it feels substantial. But the Morgan Greer, it's a classic deck, it's still in print, and there's a reason why it's still in print, because people really like it. If you want an alternative to the Rider-Waite, it's great. It feels like the Aquarian Tarot. It has that same 70s vibe. I'm sure it was fairly popular back then. And it's been continuously in print, so it stood the test of time.